Throughout history, many great commanders have come and gone, but very few individuals have managed to change the fate of an entire continent on their own. In this video, we will tell the story of a man who was born into an ordinary family, rose through ambition and talent, shook Europe to its core, and became a legend on the battlefield. This is the story of Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte was born on August 15, 1769, in the town of Ajaccio on the Mediterranean island of Corsica. Corsica had been occupied by France just 1 year before Napoleon's birth. In other words, Napoleon was not originally French, he was Corsican. His family belonged to minor nobility but was far from wealthy. His father, Carlo Bonaparte, was a lawyer, and his mother, Letizia Ramolino, was a strong and disciplined woman. Napoleon was one of 8 children, and his childhood was tough. As a child, Napoleon was quiet, stubborn, and hot-tempered. He spoke French poorly and had a heavy Corsican accent, which made him the target of mockery at school. Instead of breaking him, these humiliations fueled his ambition and determination. Napoleon's life changed completely when he entered military school. Thanks to his father's connections, he was sent to France for education and entered military school at the age of 9. There, he showed exceptional talent in mathematics, geography, and especially artillery. He was fascinated by history and admired the great commanders of ancient Rome. Napoleon graduated at just 16 years old and joined the French army as a second lieutenant in the artillery, an extraordinary achievement for someone so young. However, promotion was not easy. He was not wealthy, not well connected, and not fully accepted by the French aristocracy. But history was about to change. In 1789, the French Revolution erupted. The monarchy collapsed, the nobility lost its power, and the old system fell apart. This chaos created opportunity for talented officers like Napoleon, who lacked noble status but possessed exceptional skill. Napoleon gained recognition during the siege of Toulon in 1793. His artillery strategy played a decisive role in retaking the city from royalist rebels. He was only 24 years old when he was promoted to brigadier general. From that moment on, Napoleon's rise seemed unstoppable. In 1796, Napoleon was appointed commander of the Army of Italy. The army was poorly supplied, undisciplined, and demoralized. Napoleon addressed his soldiers with confidence. "I will lead you to honor, glory, and victory." He defeated Austrian and Allied forces one after another, using speed, surprise, and brilliant maneuvering. Instead of facing enemies head-on, he divided their forces and destroyed them piece by piece. Here, Napoleon's greatest strengths became clear: speed, flexibility, strategic deception. After the Italian campaign, Napoleon became France's most celebrated hero. Napoleon's ambitions extended beyond Europe. In 1798, he launched the Egyptian campaign. His goals were to cut off Britain's route to India to establish French influence in the East. Napoleon brought not only soldiers but also scientists and scholars with him. During this campaign, he saw the pyramids, studied ancient Egyptian civilization. The Rosetta Stone was discovered. It was here that he famously said, "From the heights of these pyramids, 40 centuries look down upon you." However, at sea, the British Admiral Horatio Nelson destroyed the French fleet. Napoleon won battles on land, but suffered a decisive naval defeat. Eventually, he secretly returned to France. France was in crisis. The government was weak, and the people were desperate. In 1799, Napoleon carried out a coup d'etat, overthrowing the Directory and establishing himself as first consul. In reality, he was now the ruler of France. He quickly stabilized the economy, introduced the Napoleonic Code, established legal equality, centralized state power. In 1804, Napoleon crowned himself Emperor of France. He took the crown and placed it on his own head, showing that he owed his power to no one. Napoleon's military tactics. What made Napoleon extraordinary was not just courage, but military genius. His key tactics included dividing enemy forces, striking the enemy's center, rapid marches and surprise attacks, effective and concentrated use of artillery. He stayed close to his soldiers and often appeared on the front lines. Because of this, his troops were fiercely loyal to him. Napoleon defeated nearly every major power in Europe, but he made two critical mistakes. The Spanish quagmire. A brutal guerrilla war drained his resources and manpower. The Russian campaign, 1812. He invaded Russia with over 600,000 soldiers. But harsh winter starvation disease destroyed the Grand Army. Exile and death. Napoleon was defeated and forced to abdicate. He was first exiled to the island of Elba, but he returned. For 100 days, he reclaimed power. His final defeat came at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. This time, he was exiled to the remote island of St. Helena, where he lived under constant surveillance. In 1821, Napoleon Bonaparte died, alone, ill, and far from home. Napoleon Bonaparte was a child of revolution, a soldier, an emperor, a legend. To some, he was a tyrant. To others, a genius. But one thing is certain: history never forgot Napoleon.